what's up you guys, Aftershare Reacts here, and today I am finally sharing my thoughts on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but with a bit of a twist. A lot of you know that I finished the series many years ago now, and ever since then I have promised you guys a series thoughts video. And when I say I tried, I really tried. I recorded hours and hours of footage, and I edited it, and I didn't like it, and I threw that away. And then I I did it again like 6 months later. I didn't like that either. I've scrapped it every single time because I just was never happy with what I was editing. I was just never happy with it. I've definitely made at least like 5 different versions of this video, and probably more, to be honest. But yeah, then in October of 2025, I had a light bulb moment, and I was like, hey, why don't I just make a tier list? I can, rank every single episode, talk about it a little bit, actually, go over the thoughts of those particular episodes and rank them. At first, this is supposed to be for my second channel. I have a second channel, if you didn't know. It's just, I inconsistently upload on there. And I've done a couple of other tier lists on there, and that's why this ended up being a tier list. But once I finished recording it and started editing it, I realized this is kind of the perfect version of the video I wanted to make. So this is my long overdue Buffy thoughts video. Just the structure kind of just worked a little bit better for me, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I finished editing the whole thing, and I realized that because it was for my other channel, I didn't actually have a proper intro for this. So that's what this is. This is my intro. I'd love to know what you guys think. I've linked below the tier list, so you can make your own tier list if you like. I've created my own tiers, which I will go over. You'll see that in past ASR. And yeah, let me know if you guys agree or disagree with any of my opinions. Let's keep it, a discussion rather than an argument. That'd be great. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the format of the video, and if you want to see something similar for the Angel episodes, I am happy to do that, if we've got some good feedback from this video. I've put a lot of time and effort into this video. It has taken me 4 months to edit, and while I was editing this, I scrapped half of it and almost started again. I didn't. I pivoted, but yeah. Anyways, back to previous channel. Today I'm going to be doing another tier list. So this is a Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode tier list, and I'm going to be putting every single episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer onto a tier list. Now I wanted this to be a Buffyverse tier list, however I couldn't find one that had all of the Buffy episodes and all of the Angel episodes together. So this will be just Buffy. If you guys want to see an Angel tier list, I'm happy to do that. I actually have found an individual Angel tier list with, the episode titles and everything like this. It's just slightly different. But yeah, this is the first tier list that I've made in a while. I made a Arrowverse one back a while ago now, and a Marvel one. And I wanted to do this one for a while because if anybody knows, like if you've been around for a while, you know that Buffy is a big theme for me. I've done a lot of things with Buffy. It's been a really great universe to me, I think. Let's go over the tiers that I've selected. So the idea is I wanted to have the tiers reflect the TV show. So let me just explain them to you. So in our S tier, we have I'm Under Your Spell. This is obviously a singing quote from Tara. This is the tier which basically means that, you know, this is the best of the best. Like, you're hooked on this episode, you know? And then we have at the presumably A tier, we have I'm Cookie Dough. Now this is a quote that Buffy says herself in the last episode of the series. And the way that she explains it is that she's not ready to be like in a like proper relationship, which means that she's still preparing herself. She's not yet perfect, and that's what this tier is. It's a good episode, just not perfect. And then we've got 5 by 5. This is a quote from Faith, and I went back and forth on whether or not to include this one because there is conflicting information online about what it actually means. A lot of online thinks that 5 by 5 means you're perfect, but a lot of people in my Discord in particular, we all just kind of came to the conclusion that when Faith says it, she means like I'm fine, I'm whatever, like I'm cool, I'm okay. So that's what 5 by 5 means on this tier list. For me, it means it's a decent episode. It's an okay episode. Then we have What Can I Say? I've Always Been Bad. This is a Spike quote. This was said just before he was about to tell his backstory to Buffy. And the concept of this is initially this was going to be like the bad episodes. However, I decided that this is going to be the tier where it's like the episode is so bad that it's kind of good, you know? So the idea is he says that he's always been bad, but he was actually kind of good. Like, you know, so that's the concept of this particular tier here. Then we have Bored Now. This is a Dark Willow / Vampire Willow quote. This is just the boring episodes. Just straight up boring. I should probably actually have this at the bottom. The next tier is The Earth is Doomed. These are the episodes that just don't deserve to survive. Like, if you ever rewatch the show and, like, these are just the skippable ones. The ones that you just, nah, this one doesn't exist anymore. It's not a good episode. These are the bad episodes. Just straight up bad. There are things to mine and out of like every episode of this series because it is a great series, but you know, that doesn't mean that the whole episode is a good episode. Just there are some clunkers. So yeah, this is obviously my opinion. We are going to discuss the episodes a little bit. So you know, I really hope that you've seen the show because, what are you doing? If you disagree with anything that I say in this video, please feel free to leave a comment below letting me know your thoughts. And yeah, maybe we'll have a bit of a back and forth. Alright, so we're obviously going to be starting from the beginning of the series. So we have season 1. So we have Welcome to the Hellmouth. So this is the first episode of the series, if you're not counting the unaired pilot. So this episode, you know, Buffy comes to town, she makes some friends, she meets some vampires, she meets her love interest. I think that this is a pretty good episode. Like, it's a pretty good starter episode. It leaves you on a cliffhanger where you have to actually watch the next episode to know what happens, which I think is a good thing, to be honest, because like if you're not hooked by the end of the first episode, like you want to watch what's going on in the next one, then I mean the show's not for you. But I think that this does a pretty good job at establishing all of the characters and you know, leaving you wanting to know more about other characters. Just from the moment that, like, Willow is introduced, you feel empathy for her. And, you know, Cordelia being rude to her, you instantly don't like Cordelia, which is hilarious when you know, have watched the whole series and the whole universe. But yeah, I think that this episode in particular, I think it's a pretty good episode. I'm gonna put it at 5/5 for now. Just because there's so much. I know that there is so much better from the show. And I feel like this is a good starting point. I could change my opinion on this. I might move it up. I might even move it down. But I think 5/5 is pretty good. I think that's a pretty good tier for it. The next episode is The Harvest. So this is the episode that, like, it's a two-parter, these two episodes. We have Jesse, which I feel like something that's always bothered me about the series is, like, we never have any more Jesse talk after the first two episodes of the series. Like, he dies, and then nobody ever talks about him ever again. Which is really sad, because, like, the concept of, you know, being introduced to these characters and then one of them dying in, like, the first episode, like, that was, like, a really cool, not really cool. I feel it was a good concept. Obviously, we've learned over the years that they always wanted to, you know, have someone in the credits and then have them die in that episode, which they eventually do. But you know, this was like the kind of precursor to that, and I feel like I would have really liked to have seen a little bit more from Jesse before he died. That's my only downside for the episode. I mean, it has like a really cool like action shot of Buffy, which is like an intro sequence for the rest of the season. Probably one of my only other downsides, I suppose, would be the fact that season 1 in particular is quite dark, in the sense that, like, very difficult to see. I feel like they didn't really have their lighting set up as well as they are, as it is later on in the series. So I'm going to put this at 5/5 as well, because I feel like these two together, they're incomplete without each other. I feel like perhaps maybe if you put them together, they're probably cookie dough. But as individual episodes, I think they're 5/5. Next up is Witch. So this is the episode that introduces witches into the universe. And in this episode, we meet Amy for the first time, which is a character that appears in, I think, every single season somehow. I could be wrong. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I think this is a really interesting episode. I mean, the twist of the episode is really cool. The fact that, you know, the parent, the mum had switched places with Amy, like, you just don't see it the first time around. And I know that it's something that I've gone back and watched other people react to the episode, and it's been, like, I don't think I've ever seen anybody work that out before it happened. So I think it's an effective twist. The only downside that I have for this episode is probably the fact that when Amy's mum is put inside of the trophy, not that they know that that's what's happening, it never gets a callback, really. Like, I think there's an episode maybe where somebody is looking at the statue, and that's about it. That's all we ever get. Like, there's no comeback of her. We never really get any payoff for that. Like, we never hear Amy talking about her mum ever again, I don't think. So just for that, I think I'm probably gonna also list this as 5/5. Look, season 1 is a decent season. That doesn't mean that it's bad. I just think that it's a decent season mostly. And a lot of these episodes are probably gonna be in the 5/5 tier. You know what's not going to be in the 5/5 tier? Teacher's Pet. So this is an episode that a lot of people like to clown on. I get it. You know, there's some weird moments in this episode with, you know, a praying mantis, a man, like a teenage boy, going to a teacher's house. Why? Why did he think that was okay? I don't know, man. I've been listening to Charisma Carpenter's podcast where she's been, kind of going over the episodes herself. And I think this is the episode that starts with, Xander having a dream that he slays a vampire and then gets on stage and plays the guitar, the electric guitar. And that's just cringe to think about. And there's the effects of the praying mantis. Look, I know this was a 90s show, but yeah, this is The Earth is Doomed. This is bad. This is a bad episode. This is not a good episode. This is an episode that I will happily skip. Next up is Never Kill a Boy on the First Date. This is the episode where Buffy has a crush on this guy named Owen, who is so boring. He's into books. Not that you're boring if you're into books, but Buffy into a boy that is into books just doesn't really sound correct to me. Yeah, I never really understood. I don't know, I never really understood her being interested in Owen at all. Then we have the annoying one in this one being introduced. Yeah, I just think this one is... I'm just now realizing that I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate on this video because, yeah, this is a boring episode, I think. I think it's a boring episode. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that there's not a lot in there that is good. What is good in there? I think it has one line of dialogue that's good, and it's the if the apocalypse comes, beat me, or whatever it is. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's not for me. Next up is The Pack. So this is the episode where a bunch of 28-year-old men playing teenagers turned into hyena people, and they eat the principal. Xander also gets turned into a hyena person, and says some things towards Buffy that is... Man, Xander is such a shit character, isn't he? I'm sorry. This is the episode where Xander is also very mean to Willow, and at the end of the episode, he gets off scot-free because he pretends he doesn't remember it, and I don't like that. I think this is a burn in the fire, the earth is doomed kind of episode. Next up is Angel. So this is the episode where Buffy discovers that Angel is a vampire, and we discover that he was sired by Darla, and this is the episode where Darla dies and has 2 pistols randomly. Was it pistols or was it SMGs? Dude, she had 2 guns for a vampire, and just no other vampire in the entire series uses guns. It's so weird. Yeah, I think that this is a pretty good episode. If you didn't know the twist, it's pretty good. The episode, I think the episode starts with cockroaches in the bronze. And if you catch a cockroach, you get a free drink. And that was just normal. That is so weird. That is really weird, is it not? I think the downside of the episode for me is the fact that we don't really know Angel and Darla's true history at this point, and so him killing Darla while he says that she sired him, it doesn't really have merit and doesn't really feel anything. Like, okay, he just killed her. Okay, that's fine, I guess. But it doesn't really have any merit to it because we don't have the backstory of it. And, like, during Angel the series, you learn a lot more of the backstory and their relationship over the hundreds of years that they were together. But the thing is, like, if we had seen all of that and then we saw him kill Darla, I feel like it would have had more of a gut punch. But unfortunately, that's not the case. And so him killing Darla in that way kind of feels a little bit empty because it is very much telling and not showing. But, you know, we are only, what is this? This is 7 episodes into the series, so I can forgive the show for that because the episode was pretty good anyways. I think maybe I would have liked to have seen some flashbacks of Angel before he killed Darla, as all I got going for me, I guess. But that would kind of negate the twist, so I'm not sure. But I think that this is a pretty good episode. I think it's a 5/5. That's a pretty good episode. Remember, these are still subject to change. Next up is I, Robot You, Jane. This is another one that people like to clown on a lot, and I know that Liam Duke loves this episode. In fact, he made a, was it a rap or a song about Moloch the Corruptor? So good. You should totally check it out. That'll be linked below if you're interested. This is the be careful who you talk to online episode. Back in the 90s, you know, the internet was still very fresh and new, and they didn't really understand, you know, well, I mean, people didn't really understand that you need to be careful online. And yeah, this was interesting. Willow, she meets someone online, and it turns out it's a evil demon, and then he gets these dudes at school to make him a robot body or something, and I don't know, man. Is it just bad? Like, look, if I was Liam Duke, I feel like he probably would put it at, what can I say, I've always been bad, because he would think that it's so bad that it's good. But I don't see it, I'm sorry. I think that the only reason that I'm considering it being in that tier is because of the hilarious song that he made about it. So yeah, no, I'm gonna have to say the Earth is doomed for this one. Next up is the puppet show, and this is the episode with the puppet. I've grown a little bit more of an appreciation for Sid the puppet, because I have actually played through the Buffy the Vampire Slayer Chaos Bleeds game. There is like a full-blown level with Sid, which I always thought was so strange. Like, how, like, this one-off character in season 1 of the show just gets... It's so strange. But that game is so fun. But like, yeah, you get to like play him, and I think you're like little tiny puppet dude, and you're going around and I don't know. So I think he was like a vampire hunter that was cursed inside of a puppet. I think. I feel like I don't even remember what happened. And what else? Then there's another demon that wants a brain. And maybe it was Willow's brain that he wanted. But I really don't remember this one. I can't remember the last time I watched a reaction for this one. I'm gonna have to put this in board now, I think, because I don't really remember it all that much. Next up is nightmares. So this episode, everyone's nightmares come to life. And I think that there's some really interesting concepts in this episode. Like the idea that Buffy is afraid of becoming a vampire. Or maybe it was just dying. And Giles is the one was afraid of being a vampire. I don't know. Buffy becomes a vampire in the episode. And it was really cool. And I've always questioned about vampire. Well, I know the answer now because I've checked out the comics. I have some of those. But basically, the idea of a vampire slayer becoming a vampire, like what would that be like? And the answer is you're a slaypire. It's gonna be interesting if they tackle that in the revival reboot thing coming. Anyways, you have Willow who's afraid of. She's got like stage fright, and then Xander is afraid of clowns. And it's interesting that he's like the only one I think that actually stands up to his fear. I would have liked to have seen maybe something more with that. Like that actually meaning something. But like, I think the whole concept of the episode was about this kid that was beat up and there was mystical energy that was just making everyone have nightmares. It was a weird, flimsy story when you think about it. Like, am I missing something? Probably. It's been so long. But yeah, I really like the concept of nightmares. You know, Buffy even has like a moment with her dad, and I remember there was like wasps or bees, giant bees outside the window, and then nobody ever talked about it ever again. Which is common. I think I really, really like the concept of the episode. I just don't think it's a particularly great episode. So this might be the first one I put in, what can I say, I've always been bad. Because I think it's a decent-ish episode. It's just not great at the same time. Next up is Out of Mind, Out of Sight. So this is the first episode that focuses on Cordelia. And you get more of a look into her reality, I suppose, as an invisible girl. And the episode ends with her attending a school or something with other invisible people. And that never comes back. Actually, that is a common occurrence. They had like little cliffhangers to this first season that just never came back around. Like, I forgot to mention it, but like in Teacher's Pet, there was just like a bunch of eggs that never came back. And then yeah, so there's like, I don't know, she just wanted to hurt Cordelia's face, I think. Yeah, I think this is probably just kind of, what is it? Oh no. I think I'm realizing a flaw in this. It's like, it's not a decent episode. It's not a so bad it's good episode. It's not a bad episode. Is it just boring? I mean, it's okay because, like, I think it's retroactively okay because I love Cordelia as a character and this is the first Cordelia episode, but if you isolate it from the rest of the series, I'm just gonna have to say it's a bit boring. So then we have Prophecy Girl, the season 1 finale. This is a really, really good episode. I think that, you know, from the beginning of the episode all the way to the end, it's just great. You know, Xander shoots his shot, he gets turned down, and then he has a cry about it. Like a little bitch. Like the little bitch he is. And Buffy finds out that she's going to die. There's a really emotional scene between her and Giles and Angel. And then she chooses later on to go, even though she knows that she's going to die. And it's just a really good episode. She dies, and then she comes back, and then there's a needle drop of the theme song. It's the only, do you know what? It's the only needle drop of a series theme song that I like, I think. So many TV shows do it, and I don't like it every single time. And, oh look, a bad guy is always a good moment. So, I'm just trying to think of any cons that the episode had. No, I think this is the first I'm Under Your Spell episode, because it's just so good from the beginning to the end. Like, Sarah Michelle Gellar sells it so much when she's like, Giles, I'm 16 years old, I don't want to die, and it's, oh my gosh, so good. Right, so this is the season 1 rankings. We're going to keep going, but this is what I think of season 1 so far. Again, some things might change. I might make some decisions later on, depending on later on episodes. Might move some stuff around. But yes, this is what we're looking at right now. Next up, we have the season 2 premiere, When She Was Bad. So this is the episode where basically Buffy is having some PTSD. She's being a little bit of a bitka towards everybody, and everybody gets kidnapped because they're trying to resurrect the Master. How is it that we're like this far into the video and I actually never mentioned the Master? Wow. Yeah, I like this episode a lot. But I think that I'm always conflicted about the end, because everyone just kind of forgives her instantly, and it just feels a little bit easy. But at the same time, sometimes it's just the case. Sometimes you just forgive and you move on. You know, she said some pretty mean things towards everybody, and I mean, it was a real catharsis when she like beat up the bones. I reckon this is probably 5 by 5. Next up is Some Assembly Required. This is the episode where, I think it's like a Frankenstein type episode where they're trying to build a perfect girlfriend for a zombified dude that died. I don't know. I think they tried to connect it back to Cordelia, saying it was like Cordelia's ex-boyfriend or something that died, but I never really bought that because, you know, she's never mentioned this ex-boyfriend that died before this episode, and it just kind of came out of nowhere. While this isn't the first episode that Jenny Calendar is in, this is like the first episode, I think, that, you know, they fully embraced the whole Giles and Jenny Calendar thing, and that's sweet. But I think otherwise, it's a pretty forgetful episode, to be honest, and I'm probably gonna put it in board now. Next up is School Hard. This is the introduction of Spike and Drusilla, and the exit of the annoying one. So, yeah, Spike and Drusilla, they come in hot. They are amazing. Spike's one of my favorite characters, like, ever. And yeah, it's a good episode. From the moment that she's introduced, I'm struggling here because I'm really struggling here because I really want to put it in I'm Under Your Spell, but it just, like, I'm thinking about later on episodes in the series and I'm like, does it match up to that? And I feel like it doesn't, but it's so good of an episode that I think I'm going to put it in I'm Under Your Spell, and then I might change it later on when we get to, like, later on episodes. Well, we'll see, okay? This is what it's looking like right now. Deal with it. You got a problem? deal with it. I actually didn't have much to say about it. Like, there was like a Joyce moment at the end where she knocks him on the head. That was fun. Next up is Inca Mummy Girl. This is the episode where there was an Inca Mummy Girl, and she's interested in Xander. You know, I think they tried to parallel a story here with, you know, Buffy and this girl, how they're both kind of like chosen ones, but she's like sucking the life out of people, and she tries to suck the life out of Willow, which, no, don't do that. I think this is the first episode that we see Oz in, I think. Yeah, I think this is The Earth is Doomed episode. I do not like Xander as a character. I think I tolerated him my first watch through, and since then my feelings for him have just been... It's strange, because my first watch through, I feel like I was almost bullied into kind of tolerating him. I feel like if I said anything particularly bad towards him, I would get a lot of hate from people, whereas the tone has definitely changed over the years, and I can outwardly say I don't like him. So episodes that are focused around him, probably not going to do so well on this list. It is what it is, it's my list. Next up is Reptile Boy. This is the episode where Buffy and Cordelia go to a college party and get roofied. And then there's a giant, like, penis-looking monster. I actually don't remember much else from it, to be honest. Does that make it boring or just bad? Well, no, I think that The Earth is Doomed being bad episodes are episodes that I remember just being bad, whereas Bored Now are episodes that I think that I can't really remember much because they were boring. So I think that this probably is Bored Now because I don't remember much about it, to be honest. Next up is Halloween. So this is a fun episode. I really liked the concept that all of their costumes, like, they turned into their costumes. And I really liked that parts of that carried on through the series, like Xander having military knowledge throughout the whole series was fun. I mean, Buffy didn't have any, like, royal knowledge or noble knowledge going forward, but whatever. I thought that, yeah, no, I thought it was a pretty good episode. I don't really know exactly what Willow was dressed up as before she put the ghost sheet over her. If anyone can tell me, that'd be great. But this was just a fun episode. I think this is definitely my favorite Halloween episode, and you know what? I think I'm cookie dough. I think this is a good episode. I can't really think of any flaws. Next up is Lie to Me. We have Max from Roswell in this episode, and he is an old friend of Buffy's from her old school, and he has, like, leukemia or something cancer related. He was gonna die, and he is obsessed with vampires and wants to become one of them, and there's, like, a vampire, like, groupie people And this is when we meet, I don't remember what her first name was, but she ends up being Anne, for the first time, which I think is an interesting, like, through line throughout both series, as we follow this character just kind of become something, make something of herself, and yeah, other than that, I think it's an okay episode. I think that this is a 5/5, and now I'm now realizing that I think that Lie to Me is not nearly as good of an episode as Welcome to the Hellmouth and the Harvest, but it's not a bad episode. It's not so bad that it's good, and it's not a bad episode. So I think that means that these two need to go up, and I think the rest is fine for now. Maybe I will order these in particular orders when we're done. I don't know. We'll see. Next up, we have The Dark Age. This is the episode where we find out that Giles used to be into the dark magic, and Jenny Calendar gets, like, possessed by some demon thing that's coming to get them. I think that the concept of Giles being into dark magics was fun. You know, it really added to his character, but otherwise, I didn't really like the episode. I didn't think it really... I mean, it added stuff for sure, but... yeah, I don't know. Not for me. Next up is What's My Line Part 1. This is the episode where we have the three? No, not the three. The Order of Turaka? Did I get that? I think I got that. They're coming to town to kill the Slayer, and then another Slayer shows up, and that was fun. It was really cool, you know, learning that there was another Slayer, and it makes sense lore-wise, and that was really cool. So it's really difficult because these two episodes, they kind of like bleed together in my brain, so I don't actually know which one. I don't know what happens particularly in both of them, but I do know that one of them has the Maggot Man, and so that's not cool. That was really gross. I hated that. We have a Cordelia and Xander kiss, and they start their romance thing. I think I'm gonna have to, like, put these together because I can't decipher them enough for them to be in separate tiers. I guess I would just put them in 5/5. I think they're fine enough. You know, they beat up Spike, and Drusilla gets better apparently. We never really learned what was wrong with Drusilla. I thought that it was like her mental stuff, but that wasn't the case. So why was she weak? I don't know. Anyways, next up is Ted. This is the episode where Joyce is dating a man who is not a man, is a robot, and he is played by John Ritter, who sadly passed away. I watched recently, like kind of recently in the last couple of years, have watched 8 Simple Rules, and so it was very strange to see him in, like, retroactively see, like, how do I explain this? I have seen him in this episode, and then I watched him in a comedy show. it was a weird concept for me to be like, wow, this is so strange. But yeah, I really liked the idea that, you know, this universe is a little bit more technologically advanced than ours. Like, it introduced the idea that, you know, you could make a robot, which comes back around. And I think there was an interesting idea in this episode that could have been explored a little bit further, where Buffy thinks that she killed him, and then she finds out that he's just a robot and he killed his other wives or something. I don't know. I don't think it's a bad episode, but I don't think it's a decent episode either. I wouldn't say... It's really difficult because some of these episodes just don't really match any of my descriptions. But basically, I feel like it's not a decent episode. It's not so bad that it's good, but it's also not a bad episode. And so I feel like I have to put it in, it's so bad that it's good, as in, what can I say? I've always been bad. I don't know. Next up we have Bad Eggs, and this is the episode where they're tasked to look after eggs, and then the eggs hatch and they attach themselves to people and take over their bodies. And when I tell you that I had nightmares the night of watching this one, I'm not even joking. Yeah, I didn't love this one. There's like 2 like vampires in this episode. When she comes out from slaying the thing and she's all gooey and gross. Yeah, no thank you. This is a bad episode. The Earth is doomed. Definitely doomed. Next up is Surprise. I feel like this is another like 2-parter that kind of doesn't, they kind of go hand in hand in the sense that like you can't have one without the other, and one kind of makes the other one so much better than it is on its own, basically. So Surprise. This is the episode where the Spike and Drusilla are putting together the judge, which is a blue guy, and it's Buffy's birthday, and she has sex with Angel for the first time, and she sleeps with Angel for the first time, and he loses his soul at the end of the episode. And we learn a little bit about Jenny. And it's just a really good... It's just a really good episode, I think. I really like the cliffhanger it leaves you on. It makes you wonder what's the problem, what's wrong. And yeah, I'm gonna have to say this is I'm cookie dough. Why am I not putting it in I'm under your spell? Shut up, this is my list. I don't know. Next up is Innocence. This is the episode that follows Surprise, and in like the first like 2 minutes, Angel drinks the blood of a girl that has that was smoking, and then like breathes the smoke out, and that was like the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. It was so cool. This is the episode where Angel has become Angelus, and this is also the episode where Buffy shoots a rocket launcher. So good. Oh, screw it. This is an I'm under your spell. I'm separating these. Like, I feel like them together definitely deserve to be up there, but like, if I'm judging this by itself, it's not as good as the Oh, it's so good though. Next up is Phases. This is the episode that introduces werewolves to the mythos. Also, we discover that Oz is a werewolf, and that was a surprise to me. I think it's really funny the way that he discovers that he's a werewolf. He just like, hey, did I just got like scratched or bit or something? Just a teeny tiny bite, and he didn't realize that that meant that he was a werewolf or something. I don't really remember actually. We have a werewolf hunter dude. I actually don't really remember where that goes. Yeah, I don't really remember this one that much. Oh no, does that mean that it's bored now? No. Oh no. I feel like I just described the whole episode though. Alright. It's 5 by 5. Next up we have Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered. It's the episode where Cordelia breaks up with Xander, so she should. And he goes to Amy and asks her to put a spell on Cordelia, which backfires and makes every woman in Sunnydale interested in Xander. And I can't remember if I joked about this in the reaction or not, but it would have been funny if some dudes were also interested in him, because like I mean, I feel like this is a funny episode. I mean, if you're looking at it through a modern lens, it's very problematic. You know, putting a spell on someone to make them love you is not good. Not good at all. But if you're just looking through it, looking at it through, you know, an entertainment lens, I thought it was a fun episode. It's one of the only Xander-centric episodes that is just kind of fun. I think this might be, however, I think this is probably so bad that it's good, but I'm gonna put it like kind of at the front here, because I think it's better than Nightmares. It is fun of an episode, but I don't think it's as good as the other ones at 5 by 5. Next up is Passion. This is the episode where Jenny Calendar, she expires. She also finds the ritual that will bring Angel's soul back, which that comes back around in the season finale. But yeah, it was very sad when Jenny was killed by Angelus. And I think this was a pretty good episode. I think this is an I'm Cookie Dough episode. And that's just basically based on the fact that it's just not one of my favorite episodes. Next up we have Killed by Death. I feel like this episode is weirdly placed, considering, you know, Jenny Calendar has just died. But this is the episode where Buffy gets sick, and she sees this dude with hand-eye things, and it's creepy as hell. But I think that this is just, like, this is kind of a boring episode to me too, so I'm gonna put this in board now. Next is I Only Have Eyes for You. This is the episode where there's ghosts. Oh. from like the 1940s or something, and it's like, it plays that stupid Jaman Jama song. I played that in Smallville and I hated it then too. Basically there's like a student-teen relationship, and it's making people kill each other, and it's making, you know, the student and they're like, these ghosts are possessing people and they're making them act out this breakup scene, which ends in one of them dying, and then it just keeps going and going until you know, there's a different resolution. Bro, I do not like the 1940s. I do not like basically old-fashioned stuff, and so this episode having like a old-fashioned type story, I don't know, man, this was boring for me. I got nothing else to say about it. I'm trying, I really am. It's just not for me. Next up we have Go Fish. This is the episode where I think Michael Scofield makes an appearance. Basically there's like a bunch of I don't know, are they footballers or are they basketballers? I don't know which sport it is. Basically, school athletes, and they're taking some weird drug that turns them into fishmen. This episode can die in a fire. This is a weird episode. It has like one nice thing, and that's Cordelia's speech to Xander about how she would still like him even as a fish, which is cute. Kind of gross, but cute, I guess. But no, this is the Earth is doomed. Get that shit out of here, please. Next up, we have Becoming Part 1. This is the episode where Kendra comes back, and we have a Akathla being a thing. They're trying to raise hell. Oh, the episode ends on such a cool moment where like Buffy's running through school in slow-mo and finds that Kendra is dead. Which was sad. She got lured into a trap. I don't really remember that much else from it. But basically, I think this is an I'm Cookie Dough episode. Then we have Becoming Part 2, which Spike and Buffy team up, and you know, there's a showdown where Buffy has to drive a sword into Angel and send him to hell, but she doesn't know she's sending him to hell. And Xander does a Xander thing. Oh, Buffy's mum finds out that she's a Slayer, and she gets kicked out and leaves town. I mean, that's easy, right? Clearly, that's an I'm under your spell episode. Alright, so these are the rankings for Season 2 and Season 1. So far, this is what it's looking like, and I think I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, I don't think I would make any changes just yet. On to Season 3. So the Season 3 premiere episode is titled Anne. This episode, Buffy is working in LA, I think, and she comes across the girl from Lie to Me, and she asks for her help because her boyfriend went missing, and Buffy ends up in a hell dimension, and there's this really, really cool shot of her beating up the demons. And oh my god, the one line where they're like, "Who are you?" And she's like, "I'm Buffy, the Vampire Slayer." And you are? So good. This is a good episode. I think the thing that kind of brings it down a little bit is when we check back in with the rest of the Scoobies. Like, I mean, they are like main cast, so of course, and it's important to show, you know, the way that things are without Buffy. But I think the more interesting stuff was following the Buffy story in the episode. So I think I'm going to put this at 5 by 5. Yeah. Next up is Dead Man's Party. This is the one with the masks that bring the dead back to life. And Joyce has a friend who dies. Oh, and they all like have a go at Buffy for leaving town. Like, how about you like be a little bit more empathetic? She had to kill the love of her life. I didn't like the confrontation of this episode, and in fact, it is kind of like a precursor to another confrontation that they have later on in the series, where we're kind of, as an audience, we're kind of told kind of that we're supposed to be siding with the Scoobies over Buffy, which is ridiculous because of what Buffy had to go through. So that really brings the episode down for me, I think. So I'm probably going to put this in, it's either The Earth is Doomed or Bored Now. I don't know. This is really hard to make decisions, man. This is The Earth is Doomed because of that confrontation. Next up is Faith, Hope, and Trick. So this is the episode where Faith is introduced. And Faith is like one of my favorite characters in the entire series of the two shows. And she's great. It would have been fun to have seen Kikistos. Was that the dude? I just remember Buffy talking about Dickitos. And I don't know if it was actually this episode or not. Anyways, look, the vampire that came to town because of Faith, I would have liked to have seen their rivalry just a little bit more. But otherwise, it's a fun entrance to Faith. There's also the entrance of Trick, and he was fun. And oh, that's right, Angel also comes back at the end of the episode, which I think was the powers that be bringing him back. I think initially when I watched the series, it was like I thought that the love of the ring brought him back. But you know, after watching all of Angel, and I think it's the powers that be that brought him back, right? Anyways, Faith, Hope, and Trick. I think I'm gonna say I'm cookie dough. And next up we have Beauty and the Beasts. This is the episode where a girl is being abused by her boyfriend. And they kind of victim blame her, which is a choice, and I think she ends up dying, which is also kind of sad. It's also the episode where Buffy finds a rabbit angel, and Oz thinks it's him doing the killing. It's okay. I think that it's a 5 by 5. Next up is Homecoming. This is the episode where Buffy and Cordelia both run for prom queen. or homecoming queen. And then there's also like the Slayer Fest 99, and there's that one quote that I love so much of spiny hair looking dude. It gets me every time. This is a fun episode. I think it's a 5x5. Next up is Band Candy. This is the episode where they're like selling candy for the band, I think. And all of the adults eat the candy and turn into teenagers again. And there were some hilarious moments in this episode. It was really fun seeing Giles and Joyce both be, you know, teenagers in this episode, and having Buffy be like the adult, considering, like, you know, she's very mature for her age anyways. This was just a lot of fun for an episode. And Ethan Rayne was in it again. Was this the first appearance of the mayor? I'm not sure. Maybe he's not even in it. I think they just mentioned the mayor. I don't know. I don't really remember. Anyways, I think this is a 5x5. Next up is Revelations. So this is the episode where the Scoobies find out that Buffy has been keeping Angel being back a secret, and they confront her and have a go at her for it, which is fun. Again, I really don't like it when they have a go at her. There's no need to do that. How about we just be understanding? Understand that. I don't know. It's just stop it. Leave her alone. Faith also gets another watcher in this episode, and she pits them against each other so that she can get a glove, which was cool. She ultimately ends up expiring herself, so this is alright. I think this is probably another 5x5 episode. Next up is Lover's Walk. This is the episode that has Spike return for an episode, and he and Drew have broken up, and he wants a spell to put them back together. And he kidnaps Xander and Willow, who at this point are having an affair. They also get caught by Cordelia and Oz. And Cordelia gets impaled, and it cuts to like a funeral scene. And that's always a really funny thing to watch people react to, I'm not gonna lie. I was right there with them. But yeah, it's an okay episode, I think. I mean, it ends the affair, which is the worst. So I think I'm just gonna put this one at 5x5. Next up is The Wish. This is the episode where Cordelia wishes that Buffy Summers had never come to Sunnydale. It's a really interesting episode. This is also the first appearance of Anya, she becomes a main character later on in the series, and yeah, I just really liked all of the differences to the characters in the alternate universe. The fact that, you know, Willow and Xander were both vampires, and like the Master had risen probably due to the harvest. I do wonder where like Darla would have been in this universe. And I really like the fact that like this Buffy is like hard and a little more like Faith in a sense. So I think that this is probably I'm Cookie Dough. I don't know what it is, but there's just something keeping it from being a perfect episode for me. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the fact that like she doesn't, like, nobody remembers it. Or maybe it's the fact that Cordelia gets killed, like, 5 minutes into the new reality. Because it kind of felt like a Cordelia-centric episode in a sense. I don't know. I don't know what it is. There's something keeping it from being like a perfect episode. Next up is Amends. This is the episode where Angel's being haunted by a bunch of people that are killed. And he decides that he's going to stand out in the daylight when, like, wait for the sunlight to come out. And this is the first appearance of the First, which becomes prominent in season 7. Buffy's fringe in this episode is interesting. That's all I can really say about it. I think it's probably just a 5x5 episode. Dude, season 3 was just like banger after banger after banger, really. I don't think there's any bad season 3 episodes so far. There still might be. Next up is Gingerbread. What did I just say? This is the episode where we have like a Hansel and Gretel demon or something. And Buffy, Willow, and Amy are almost all burnt at the stake. This is the episode where Amy turns herself into a rat. So that's a funny gag going forward. I don't know. This actually might be, what can I say, I've always been bad. I feel like this is one of the... I'm gonna put this at the front, because I think it's probably one of the best of the bad episodes. Yeah, I don't know. These are my rankings, what can I tell you? Next up is Helpless. This is the episode where Giles is drugging Buffy to take away her strength so that she can fight a vampire, and it's like some test thing from the council, and that is so messed up, and I love it so much. I think this is a great episode. It really damages the relationship between Buffy and Giles, but kind of like is brought back around at the end of the episode, and Giles gets fired. Oh, it's a good episode. Oh gosh. This is going to become difficult to see at some point. I don't know how I'm going to keep this on the screen. Next up, we have the Zeppo. This is Xander's hero episode. It's a funny concept to follow, you know, the nobody, nothing character. You know, he's being excluded from all of the really cool things that are going on, and gets to sleep with Faith. He technically saves everybody because he stops a bomb from going off while all the main characters or something are in the school at the same time. This episode has zombies in it. I can't in good conscience give this a good no, because it's a Xander episode. I hate him, but I like the concept of the episode. Oh, that's a problem. Actually, it's not a problem. It's got zombies in it. I don't like zombies. It's got Xander in it. I don't like Xander. Alright, I'll put it in. What can I say? I've always been bad. Next up is Bad Girls. This is the episode where Buffy and Faith are getting like super close and they're going out every night, beating down vampires, slaying vampires. And then Faith accidentally kills a human. And, oh, there's a big blob demon thing named Balthazar. And... oh, this is the first introduction of Wesley, who is my favorite character of the entire series. By series, I mean Angel and Buffy. Yeah, okay. I think this is a 5x5, and you know what? I'm gonna put it pretty high up on the 5x5. I think we're gonna go through these in a moment too. Next up is Consequences. This is the episode where Buffy can't live with the fact that she was kind of there for a murder, and Faith blames it on Buffy, and Faith almost kills Xander. If only. Angel tries to get through to Faith. I mean, it's a pretty good episode. I'd probably say 5x5. It would have been cookie dough if she had succeeded. Next up is Doppelgangland. This is genuinely one of my favorite episodes ever. Of any TV show ever. This is the episode where Anya wants to get her powers back. And so she enlists Willow to help her fix her necklace thing. And instead ends up, like, she ends up smashing it or something. And it brings Vampire Willow to this world. And then she holds the bronze hostage. And it's just the funniest episode. It's so good. It's just zinger after zinger after zinger. Oh my god, this is hands down the best episode of the series so far. I don't know what to tell you. It is so good. Every time I see somebody in my recommended has reacted to that episode, I'm clicking. It's such a good episode. Next up is Enemies. This is the episode where Faith's duplicitous behavior is found out. So she tries to sleep with Angel. He's not having it. Then she does a ritual thing, or gets a ritual done to Angel, and he becomes Angelus. And the twist of the episode is that it was all for show, and they were onto her the whole time. And it was such a cool moment when they like outsmarted her. But like, I have some issues with it now. I recently I recently watched someone's reaction to it, and I came up with a few problems. First of all, why were they onto Faith? What caused them to get onto her? Maybe I should rephrase that. I'm not gonna. Secondly, this isn't really a problem, but like, just something to point out, and that is, Angel in this episode refers to himself as Angelus. And every single time you ever had proper Angelus, he calls himself Angel. Now, there is a difference between Angelus and Angel, but Angelus just always calls himself Angel, regardless of if he's Angelus or Angel. So the fact is, you can tell that it's not really Angelus because he refers to himself as Angelus. That was probably really confusing. I hope you understood. Yeah, it's a pretty good episode. I think it's 5x5. Next up is Earshot. This is the episode where Buffy gets some demon blood on her, and then she can read everyone's minds. She hears someone wants to make everybody expire. And she thinks that it's Jonathan, but he just wants to expire himself. So then she talks him down, and then she stops the actual person, which was kind of lame, and a really bad stunt double. And that's all I got to say about it, really. So probably 5 by 5. Next up, we have choices. This is the episode where they do a heist. They get this box thing from the mayor, and Willow gets kidnapped, and she stands up to Faith, which was cool. I don't really remember anything else about it. It was just 5 by 5, I guess. Oh wait, there's a standoff between them in the cafeteria, and the little spider things that come out of the box. And Principal Snyder is like, why couldn't this be drugs or something? I don't know. It's 5 by 5. Next up is the prom. There are some pretty awesome moments in this one. You know, Buffy getting Class Protector Award was very cute. Especially from somebody who she specifically saved like 2 episodes prior. Then we have Buffy's dress. She looked so gorgeous. Can you believe? Like, I can't even believe. Like, how do you go out and beat a bunch of hell beasts and then go to prom looking that gorgeous? Like, never. Couldn't be me. Yeah, so she, like, defeats some hell beasts. Cordelia couldn't afford her dress, and Xander bought it for her, which was nice, considering he cheated on her. Yeah, it's a pretty good episode. Oh, right, and Buffy and Angel, like, officially break up properly. It's very melodramatic. Yeah. There we go. Next up is Graduation Day Part 1. Oh, gosh. Faith shoots Angel with a poisonous arrow. And the only way to, cure it is Slayer blood. And so they fight each other, and Buffy stabs her with her own knife, and then she's like, peace out, bitches, and like jumps off the roof. And so like Buffy's like, I don't have any blood to give you, like I can't give you Faith's blood now, so you need to drink from me, Angel. And he's like, nah, and then she like beats him up, makes him do it. But I think that part happens in the next episode. I think this one ends with Faith getting stabbed. It's a pretty good episode. Yeah, this is probably a 5 by 5 episode. And then part 2 is probably a cookie dough episode. Because, you know, the whole class comes together, which is really cool, because, like, it's just, like, a culmination of 3 seasons of this show, and, you know, all of it was established, like, 2 episodes prior that, like, the school knows that weird shit happens, and, like, they all, like, come to bat they all fight, and I think that's really cool. So yeah, this is the season 3 ranking so far, and I'm just gonna go over these to put them in like a particular order that I feel works best. Alright, on to season 4. The season 4 premiere called The Freshman. This is the episode where Buffy goes to college and she feels like really left out and isolated, and The vampires in this one were a lot of fun. Definitely could have been like mainstays, but they weren't. Pedro Pascal is in this episode. In an early role of his, before he was in everything. This has one of the coolest moments, like where she like catches a steak or something, and then she like makes it go, spins it, and it's cool. She like gets a groove back. I don't like that Giles is like, you're old enough now, you don't need my help. But he backtracks on that later on. I think it's a pretty good premiere. I think this is probably one of the strongest premieres. So I'm going to put these at 5/5. And I'm going to put it here. Okay, maybe after enemies. Next up we have living conditions. This is the episode where Buffy's roommate is a demon and is sucking her soul away, and she becomes super mean. And Buffy is not a very good roommate herself. What else happens in this one? Oh, I don't know. I feel like this is a bit of a boring episode, to be honest. If I'm honest. I'm sorry. There's funny moments for sure, but like, it's a bit boring. But don't worry, it's nowhere near as boring as the other ones. Next up, we have The Harsh Light of Day. This is the episode where Spike returns for good, and Harmony also is here, and she's a vampire, and this is the episode where they're looking for the Gem of Amara, and Spike gets it and immediately goes after Buffy, and I think that's hilarious. Like, he couldn't just get it and leave town and be happy. He just had to go and kill his third Slayer. This is also the episode where Anya comes into the picture again for, like, good. Buffy sleeps with the new guy, Parker. I think his name is Parker. And he's a total jerk. Technically. So, like, I think he's a jerk for different reasons than a lot of people do. So, like, they didn't really, he gave her the wrong idea, which makes him a jerk, but he also didn't, you know, say, hey, we're gonna be exclusive, you know, so, like, there's that, but no, he was a jerk. Screw that guy. This is a pretty good episode. I'm probably gonna put it, maybe here. Cool. That's a 5/5. Next is Fear Itself. This is the episode where they go into a haunted house, and it's a Halloween episode, and they all have like fears going on. And then the episode ends with like a fear demon that's teeny tiny, and that was funny. We also discover that Anya's fear is bunnies. It's funny. Giles makes a door with a chainsaw, and that was funny. But otherwise, it was kind of a meh episode for me. Even thinking about it, I don't think I have a lot to say about it. I think this is probably... It's not a bad episode. But it's also not like a so bad it's good episode. Honestly, I think it's a bit of a boring episode. Next is Beer Bad. This is the episode where Buffy likes beer. Beer turned Buffy into caveman or cavewoman, and she bonks Parker on the head with a log, which is really funny. But yeah, this is definitely a it's bad, it's good episode, but like this is probably one of the better ones. I know this is probably one of the episodes that people dislike the most, but I don't know, I found it funny. Next up is Wild at Heart. This is the episode where Oz discovers there is another werewolf in town named Veruca, and they probably do a little bit of doggy style. And Willow finds them, and then Oz kills her. No, not Willow, kills Veruca because Veruca tried to kill her. And then Oz and Willow break up, and it's a sad moment. It's a sad exit, I think, because, you know, Willow and Oz are very sweet together, and it's definitely not something that you, like, Oz wouldn't cheat on Willow, but it was very much an animal thing for him, I think, and, this is also the first episode we see, like, the initiative, I think, really. Yeah, it's a decent episode. I think it's probably a 5/5, and I'd probably put it above Phases. That seems like a good idea. Next up is the initiative. This is the episode that we discover that Riley is a commando guy for the initiative, and the initiative experiment on demons and vampires, and this is the episode where Spike gets a chip in his head, and then he goes and tries to kill people and fails. There's a small plot hole here where he hurts the people to get out of the place, but isn't hurt by his chip. But maybe that's just because they didn't turn it on yet. I don't know. Why wouldn't it already be on? Who knows? This is a fun episode. Probably above Beauty and the Beasts. Next up is Pangs. This is the episode that begins like the 2-3 episode crossover with Angel. Xander gets syphilis from Native Americans. Willow really doesn't want to be celebrating Thanksgiving, and Buffy makes a bear and has to undo it. Spike is tied up all episode. This is, Angel is also in the background, but Buffy doesn't see him. It's okay. No, you know what? It's so bad, it's good. But I'm gonna put it at the top here. Because I don't really care for the whole, like, Thanksgiving thing. Next up is Something Blue. This is the episode where Willow casts a spell to make her will happen. Will makes her will happen. Anyways. And she says that Xander is a demon magnet, so he gets attacked by demons. And then she says that Giles can't see anything, and then he becomes blind. But more importantly, she says that, why doesn't Buffy just marry Spike? And then they get engaged, and it's so funny. So funny. I have a book that actually has the wedding plans in it. It's really funny, and that makes the episode for me. I think a lot of the other parts of the episode are just like, whatever. But like the part that makes the episode good for me is the Spike and Buffy engagement thing. I think it was like the first time that I was like, oh yeah, I want this. Yes, please. More of this, please. So I'm gonna put this at I'm Cookie Dough, but I'm also gonna put it at the end of I'm Cookie Dough because obviously, like I said, there are some things in it that I don't love. Yeah. This is looking pretty good. Next up is Hush. This is the episode where everybody loses their ability to speak. The gentlemen come to town and they are creepy ads. I was scared watching this one. And Buffy and Riley find out their identities in this episode. They also have their first kiss. I don't really care for Riley, so. But the episode as a whole is so good. You're like, if you don't put it in one of the best episodes, you do not understand cinema. I'm sorry, but like, it's that good. Next is Doomed. I feel like any episode coming after Hush was never going to live up to anything. This is just kind of like a boring episode, to be honest. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in boring. Bored now. But yeah, so the reasoning behind that is this is the episode where apparently there's another apocalypse going on. Buffy and Riley are like, will they or won't they, their relationship, because she's like, I can't do this again, and Riley's like, you've dated me before. It's a funny moment. Anyways, and I just don't care for that, to be honest. Yeah, that's it. Next up is A New Man. Giles gets turned into a demon, and I don't like that everyone kind of ignores him for the whole episode, and then he becomes a demon, and then like gets stabbed, and then Buffy's like, I could tell it was you from your eyes, but you still stabbed him. The Spike and Giles team up in the episode was fun, but it wasn't a great episode. I think it's probably, what can I say, I've always been bad. Yeah, definitely. Next up is the Iron Team. This is the episode where Buffy kind of joins the initiative a little bit, and Professor Walsh decides to try to eliminate her by having her demons kill her. But Buffy's like, you tried killing me? Haha, you suck. I don't know what she says. Oh my god, what is it? You really don't know what a Slayer is, or something like that. I don't know. It was a badass moment in another otherwise meh episode, I think. I think they sleep together this episode. I don't really remember much else about the episode, I think, so I'm just gonna leave it at 5/5. Next episode is Goodbye Iowa. This is the episode where Riley finds out about the situation. Well, I mean, I think he finds out at the end of the last episode. But, like, this is the one where he can't reconcile it, and he's like, well, maybe it was a test. And Buffy's like, bro, she tried to kill me. Get your shit together. I don't know, he's got, like, some weird brain thing going on. I don't remember. Oh, this is also the episode where Adam comes out. You know, floppy disk dude. Yeah, this is a Earth is Doomed episode for me, I think. It is meh. Next episode is This Year's Girl. This is the return of Faith. And yeah, so she wakes up from her coma. Yes, she was in a coma. And she comes after Buffy, and it was cool, a cool fight. And then they switch bodies at the end. And I think the thing that like bogs down the episode is all the Riley stuff and the season like stuff that is attached to it. But otherwise, it's a 5x5 episode. It's interesting that like all of the Faith episodes are pretty high up. Interesting. The next episode is Who Are You? This is the episode where they've officially switched bodies and, oh yeah! We have Tara. Tara was introduced in Hush. It's also a plus for Hush. Look, it doesn't need any more praise. It's already up there. Yeah, this is the episode where, we get some kind of maybe confirmation that Willow is interested in Tara. And it's cool. And they have like a moment. Sarah Michelle Gellar and Eliza Dushku do phenomenal jobs acting as each other, and it's a great episode. Again, the only letdown is the Riley stuff. Faith sleeps with Riley in Buffy's body, and for the first time, like, actually experiences real intimacy and doesn't know what to do. Which is really quite fascinating. It's really messed up though, and she's about to skip town, and she sees that there's like a vampire. Like she's got to go do her job, and she just cracks back into slay mode, and no, it was just good. It was good. I think I would probably put this at 5x5, but really high up. Probably here. The reason it's not cookie dough is because of all of the Riley stuff. I really don't like the season 4 story arc with the Initiative and Riley, and that's the only downside for me, I think. Next up is Superstar. This is the episode where Jonathan has cast a spell on the world. And everyone thinks that he is the coolest person in the world. And he has, like, he's living in a mansion, and he has women all over him. And it's just a fun episode. Like, it's definitely a, like a bit of a isolated episode. Bit of a filler episode, I would say, but it's a good one, and yeah, I'd say it's a pretty good 5x5 episode. Probably above when she was bad. Next up is Where the Wild Things Are. I was dreading this one. This is the episode that, Buffy and Riley are busy all episode, and, the wall, gives you a nice feeling, and there's weird ghost type things. There's 2 good moments in this episode, and it is Giles singing, and the other one is Spike's quote about, like, alright, I'm ready to go. I don't know what he says exactly, but he's like, oh, I don't like anyone, and I'm not ready to go. And, oh, I don't know. It's just a really funny Spike quote, and I can't think of it, and if you know the show, you know what I'm talking about. Look, I've done a really, really good job at remembering quotes and remembering all other stuff, okay? Give me a break here. There's a really funny moment. And that's it. That's all I got for this episode. This episode freaking sucks. The Earth is doomed. What? This is probably This is actually probably the worst episode of the series. Now, we haven't gone through the rest of them, but I'm gonna lock that one down. That's the worst episode of the series. Next up is New Moon Rising. This is the episode where Oz comes back, but Willow has officially realized that she is in love with Tara. And Oz is like, hey, I can control my werewolfness. And turns out he can't, because he just gets mad and he turns into a werewolf. And it's basically the Hulk. But yeah, so then he needs to leave. And Willow gets to be with Tara, and it's very cute at the end. It's a 5x5. Probably here. Next up is the Yoko factor. This is the episode where I think Angel comes back. And he's just rude to Riley, and it's hilarious. But Forrest also gets killed. And that will forever be cemented in my head for Riley fandom. This is also the episode where all of the Scoobies just argue with each other. And the funniest part of that is Giles being drunk. But yeah, Spike makes the Scoobies fight each other. And that's about all that happens, really. I'd probably put this at 5x5, maybe here. Next up, we have Primeval. This serves as the season finale, kind of. They deal with Adam in this episode. They make up, and Buffy becomes Super Buffy, and it's really, really, really cool. Like, one of the coolest things this series ever does, and they never do it again. Yeah. I'd probably put this at 5x5. Maybe about here. And then we have the actual season 4 finale, which is Restless, which is this is a very confusing episode. The first Slayer visits them in their dreams and tries to kill them all. And they all have very weird dreams. And they all mean something. But it's very confusing in the first watch. And there's a cheese man, and he likes to wear cheese. And he likes that the cheese doesn't wear him. This is a 5x5 episode, but because it's so confusing, I'm gonna put it pretty low down. Probably, yeah, it's got. Actually, it's better than Beauty and the Beast. All right, so that's season 4. We've put season 4 in. This is the first 4 seasons of the series. I'm pretty happy with the rankings so far, and yeah. On to season 5. Now, season 5, along with season 3, might be my favorite seasons of the series. So, it's gonna be interesting going through these and figuring out where the episodes rank for me. First of all, we have Buffy vs. Dracula. You know, it is what it says. Buffy versus Dracula. And he has all these mystical powers for some reason, which it's cool. I don't even care. And then the end of the episode ends with Dawn showing up, who has been here the entire series, and I have not brought her up because there was no need to. So I'm gonna put this in at 5x5. probably above phases, I think. Next up is Real Me. This one is like in the mind of Dawn, and she invites Harmony in by accident, and Harmony has a unicorn. Man, this is a bit of a boring episode. Oh wait, was this the episode? I don't know if this is the episode where Xander and Harmony have a fight, because that's really funny, but that's not going to affect the ranking. This is a boring episode. Next up is The Replacement. This episode is a Xander-centric episode, so you can probably tell where this is going to go on the rankings here. Basically, Xander gets split into two, and one of them is confident Xander, and the other one is hasn't showered in days Xander, and that's it. That's the whole story of the episode. Is the Earth is doomed. I don't care for Xander. We've been over this. I've made that clear. Next up is Out of My Mind. This episode is all about Riley's deteriorating mental health or physical health or both. I don't remember. This episode is quite boring. There's only one important moment in this episode for me, and that is the end of the episode where Spike has a dream about wanting to be with Buffy and being in love with her, and then he wakes up and he's like, oh no, oh god, no, please no. Yeah, this is probably, it's not a bad episode, I just think it's a bit boring, so there we go. Lots of Riley episodes in here that are boring. See, it's not all just season 1. Next up is No Place Like Home. This is the episode where Buffy discovers that Dawn is actually a key. Did you guys know this? I didn't. Sorry. You have to make the joke, you know? Yeah, so she finds out that Dawn isn't really her sister and that she is a key and she must protect her. This is also the introduction of Glory, who is a great villain. And, yeah, it's a pretty good episode. What else happens? I don't really remember anything else that happens other than that. So this is 5 by 5. Probably maybe here. Next up is Family. This episode is a Tara-centric episode. Her family comes to town because it's her 22nd birthday, I think. Or 21st. 22nd. It's her birthday. And they told her that she's gonna turn into a demon, and she's scared of that. And so she casts a spell on everyone so they can't see her. But really, they were just misogynistic pigs, and she puts everyone in danger. But then everyone stands up for her, and it's so sweet. And even Spike does a moment where he kind of stands up for her, and punches her and shows that she's not a demon because he feels pain. He didn't have to do that. This was a really sweet episode, and you know what? I'm gonna say it's a cookie dough episode because it feels like a cookie. You know, it's not even the concept of the tier. It's just a cookie episode. You know, it's a soft center of an episode, you know? The next episode is Fool for Love. This is probably also one of my favorite episodes ever. And this is the episode where we learn how Spike became a vampire and how he killed 2 Slayers. And it's so good. I definitely under your spell. It's definitely at this tier. Probably here, to be honest. That's where I'm feeling. Next up is Shadow. I don't know if I remember this one too much. I believe this is the episode where Joyce goes in to get like a scan on her brain, and Riley gets all like upset because Buffy didn't come to him first, but like he doesn't say anything because he doesn't know how to communicate. Is this the episode with the weird alien thing that Ben... I don't know. I need to look up this one, actually. I can't believe this is the first one I've had to look up. This probably means it's Bored Now episode. Right. This is also the episode that Glory summons a snake creature to discover who the key is, and Buffy beats that thing down. Wow. The fact is, I forgot what most of this episode was, so this is a boring episode for me. The next episode is called Listening to Fear. This is the episode where Ben summons a creature from, like an alien creature or something, and it feeds off of people that are insane, because there's so many insane people in Sunnydale currently, because Glory keeps making them insane. This is not a good episode, to be honest. I don't like it. Next up is Into the Woods. This is the episode where Buffy finds out that Riley has been going and getting himself bitten. So I have a lot of feelings on this episode. I have had so many arguments with people over what that means. Some people believe that it wasn't cheating, that it was about drug use. It's about both. The subtext behind it is both. He cheated on her, and he's also doing drugs. He's going back for more. I mean, like, vampires biting each other is innately, like, sexual. And so the fact that he's going to get himself bit is sexual. He was cheating on her. And that's why she's so offended. She takes it as though she was cheated on. Anyways. Sorry. I've just had so many people, like, well, not so many people, just a couple people, argue with me about it. But basically, Riley has a cry about how Buffy, in her time of, you know, dealing with her mum being sick, didn't come and cry to him about it. And he makes it all about himself. And instead of, like, communicating with her about how he's feeling, he tells Xander about how she doesn't love me, and then gives her an ultimatum about leaving. And then Xander has this like, hey, you should want to keep him. Like, no, shut up, Xander, you stupid, stupid man, stupid man. So this is difficult because, like, this is the episode that causes Riley to leave, so it's technically a great episode, but I also just don't like the episode. So I'm just gonna leave it at the Earth is doomed. The next episode is Triangle. This is the episode where Willow is being very frivolous. I don't know if that's the right word I'm looking for, but she's being very annoying while Anya is trying to run the place, and she accidentally summons a troll that Anya dated, and it's got some comedic moments in it. It's okay. It's a decent episode, I think. Probably put it maybe in 5/5, around there. Next episode is Checkpoint. This is the episode where council members show up to test Buffy, whether or not she's worthy of information about Glory, and then she basically, at the end of the episode, goes, "You guys are irrelevant. Tell me the information." And then they do. Yeah, it's a decent episode. Nothing to write home about from memory. Probably around there, maybe. I probably put Restless a bit higher than most of these, actually. Now that I'm looking at this, why is Restless there? Maybe we put Restless here. I think that's better. Next is Blood Ties. This is the episode where Dawn finds out that she is the key. The episode begins with Buffy telling the rest of the Scoobies about it, and like almost instantly they like almost just give it away. Like, could you believe, like, why would they tell you, like, if you're gonna act like this? Like, you're immediately, literally, you knew it for like 5 seconds and she found out. Like, you guys suck at keeping a secret. But it's a really amazing performance from Michelle Trachtenberg in this episode. Like, it's discovering that you're adopted, basically. But like, she wasn't adopted, she was made 6 months ago. It's just a really amazing performance. This is the first time you discover who Glory is, that she is subletting for Ben, and yeah, it's a good episode. I'd probably put it after, we'll go there. Next up is Crush. Drusilla comes back to town and Spike admits his feelings to Buffy and tries to force her to admit her feelings for him, and it's just a fun episode. I really like it. Spike is a creep and I love it. Yeah, no, this is a good one. I reckon it's a I'm cookie dough episode. Next up is I Was Made to Love You. This is the episode with Warren, and he is he sucks. He made a robot girlfriend, and she tries to kill his real girlfriend. He's gross. He made it to have sex with. It's a decent episode. I mean, it sets up things for later on in the series, so it's whatever. Probably put it in 5x5. Maybe here. The next episode is The Body. I mean, this is by far one of the best episodes of the series. I mean, it's the episode where Joyce is found dead and there's no music throughout the entire episode. It's about the grieving process. Willow and Tara have their first kiss on screen, and it's a really emotional episode, and Anya's breakdown was... And something I always think about with this episode is the fact that one of the things that Anya says is, "I wish Joyce wasn't dead." And it's a very small thing, but when you think about the fact that she was once a vengeance demon, the idea of wishing for things is a huge deal. Like, if she could, she would wish. Like, the wish was the thing that she had. Like, she that was the power of the wish. And the fact that she wished that Joyce hadn't died means that she would use that power if she had it. And I think that's very sweet. It's just a really good episode. I'd probably put it a little higher than that, maybe here. Sorry, I just really love these two episodes. I don't think that they're ever coming down from there. I don't think anything's taking over. Next up is Forever. This is the episode where we have the funeral for Joyce. Angel comes to console her for a little bit, which is sweet. Dawn tries to revive Joyce by and it's possibly a zombie version, and the girls break down at the door. It's a sweet moment. It's a sweet episode. It's very much like a little bit of a release, but this is I think 5/5. Maybe here. Next up is Intervention. So Spike gets a Buffy bot delivered, and it's just basically so he can have sex with it. And I know what I said about Warren, and that is gross, but it's a funny episode, and it's a funny concept, and it's treated as though that it's bad as well, which is, it is. But also Spike gets kidnapped by Gloria's minions and tortured to find out who the key is, and he doesn't say anything, and then he gets a sweet kiss at the end from the real Buffy. And you know what? I really love this episode for what it is. I can't help it. It's a good episode. Next up is Tough Love. This is the episode where Willow and Tara have the tamest argument ever, and Tara gets mind sucked by Glory, and it's sad, and Willow goes proto Dark Willow on Glory and actually really hurts her. And then the end of the episode, she finds out who the key actually is. What else happens in the episode? That's all that I remember from it. But it's a good episode still. I'd probably put it pretty high up on 5/5. Maybe here. Next up is Spiral. This episode is really quite chaotic. You know, they all decide that they're gonna run. So they rent an RV, and all the main characters, you know, drive an RV to try and get away from Glory. And they get attacked by the Knights, and Giles gets stabbed, and so they need to call a doctor to help. But they call a nurse because I think Ben is a nurse. Anyways, and he comes, and then somehow Glory shows up and then takes Dawn, and Buffy ends up catatonic. This is a good episode. This is a really good episode. It really ramps things up. I think we're gonna go with probably here at 5/5. The next episode is The Weight of the World. This is the episode we spend majority of inside Buffy's mind, and basically, yeah, it was a decent episode. Willow manages to, you know, rummage through Buffy's mind and get her out of a catatonic state, and I think Ben tries to get, I don't know if it's this episode, Ben tries to get Dawn out of Gloria's grasp, but is convinced into submission. This is a decent episode. I don't think it's as good as the previous episode though, so I think maybe we'll go here. Next up is the season 5 finale, which is titled The Gift. Dawn is at the top of a tower. She's being bled. They're all trying to get to her. Buffy and Glory have a fight up the tower. It's really cool. She beats her ass. She gets to the top of the tower. Portal's already opened. She realizes that, you know, they have the same blood and the blood needs to stop the portal. And Buffy sacrifices herself to save Dawn. It's a really good episode. Just one of the best episodes of the series. So I'm putting it up there with I'm Under Your Spell. I like it better than The Body. Alright, so that is seasons 1 through 5 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. These are this is my tier list so far, and I'm pretty happy with it, I think. I actually think I'd probably move Ted down to board now, because the more I think about it, the more I don't think it deserves to go there. Yeah. The season 6 premiere is technically 1 episode, but it is 2 parts, and I reacted to it in 2 parts, so I'm going to treat it as 2 parts. So this is the episode where they try to resurrect Buffy. They also have the Buffy bot pretending to be Buffy, and some vampires. A vampire finds out that the Slayer isn't actually around, and so a bunch of demons come to the town in the moment that they are trying to resurrect Buffy. It's a decent premiere. It's like nothing I've seen before, and I'd probably put it in 5x5. Maybe here. Then Bargaining Part 2. Buffy's been resurrected. She had to claw herself out of her own grave. And yeah, it's a pretty good episode. At the end of the episode, you know, Spike really resonates with her. And, no, that happens in the next episode. Dawn finds Buffy at the top of the tower and brings her home. It's pretty decent. I'd probably put them both together. The next episode is Afterlife. This is the episode where they're haunted by some weird ghost thing that kind of possesses them to do weird things. This is also the episode where we find out at the end of the episode that Buffy was not in hell. She was actually happy, and she tells Spike this. And yeah, I think it was an alright episode. I think probably pretty low, actually. I'd probably put it here in 5x5. The next episode is Flooded. This is the episode where Buffy tries to get a loan and fails. I think this is the first introduction of the trio. And they're annoying. What else happens? Apparently this is a bored now episode because I don't remember. The next episode is called Life Serial. This is the episode where the trio really go after Buffy, and they put her through like 3 different trial type things, one of which makes everything go really fast. Another one is repeating the day over, and the other one is just being attacked by demons, which was uninventive, to be honest. I feel like I would have preferred the whole episode to just be Groundhog Day, but it was nice that we got some kind of Groundhog Day episode. So it was an okay episode. I'd probably put it pretty low though on 5x5. I feel like we haven't had a bad episode in a while. I mean, we had a boring one, never mind. The next episode is called All the Way. This is the episode where Dawn makes out with a boy that ends up being a vampire. I think this is a Halloween episode. Yeah, this is the episode also where Xander tells everyone that he and Anya are getting married. And Tara and Willow have an argument about how much magic Willow is using. I don't like this episode, actually. The Earth is doomed. there you go. I like it. The next episode is Once More with Feeling, and it's a musical episode, and you either like musicals or you don't like musicals, but this is a great episode. I'd probably put it here, somewhere up here. We'll go over these soon anyways. It's just a fun episode. I mean, we have a Buffy and Spike kiss at the end. We have just really catchy songs that if you hear even like 3 lyrics, you'll be singing it for the rest of the day. Every single time that I have a theory about something, I always say, like, I have to finish the sentence. So, like, I'll be like, I have a theory. It could be Barney's. Or, I have a theory. It could be witches, some evil witches, which is ridiculous, because witches, they were persecuted. We're wicked, good, and lovely earth, and I'll be over here. I messed that up. Anyways, yeah, no, it's a good episode. Spike's song was really good. I don't have to tell you why Once More with Feeling is a good episode. Next up is Tabula Rasa. This is the episode where everyone forgets who they are. It's a funny episode. This is it ends with Michelle Trachtenberg. No. It ends with Michelle Branch singing Goodbye to You and another Buffy and Spike kiss. So just for the fact that it was a really funny episode, it's definitely an I'm Under Your Spell episode. For sure. The next episode is Smash. This is the episode where Willow and Tara have split up. So Willow's like, I'm lonely. Oh wait, I actually know how to fix Amy, and brings her back into a human again. And they have lots of magic going on, and they go to this demon that is basically a dealer? A magic dealer? I don't know, man. What would you call Rack? I don't know. Anyways, which brings up so many questions. Like, Amy has been a rat for so long, and she knows who this Rack person is. She was going to this Rack guy as, like, a 16-year-old. Oh, no, she would have been 18. Bro, I don't know. And then this is also the episode where Spike discovers he can hurt Buffy, and they have like a big fight, and it ends with them destroying a building, among other things. I like this episode. I think it's a good episode. I'm aware you can probably see a theme here. I don't care. The next episode is Wrecked. This is the aftermath of the prior night. Also, I just realized I don't think Rack is in the Smashed episode. It's in this one. Willow gets goes to Rack and gets magic boost, and then also gets Dawn into a car crash. And then she quits magic. It's nowhere near as good as the previous episode. But it's alright. It's definitely a 5/5. I'd probably put it somewhere around here. The next episode is Gone. This is the episode where the trio they get a hold of a diamond thing that makes things invisible, and they accidentally make Buffy invisible, and then she goes and has invisible times with Spike, and then she also discovers the trio are the ones that are messing with her. Willow's struggling with her, like, sobriety in this episode, and Dawn is almost taken away because a social worker shows up. It's a fun episode, but it's nothing to write home about again. Probably put it around here. The next episode is called Double Meat Palace. This is the episode where Buffy has a job at a fast food restaurant, and it's really gross. The woman, she finds people meat, and then she finds out it's an old woman who has like a penis head. It's a penis. This is a bad episode. This is a really bad episode. Next episode is called Dead Things. This is the episode where the trio get a hold of these orbs that make people mind slaves, and Warren does it to his ex-girlfriend. And as she's trying, they almost do really awful things to her. And luckily she snaps out of it, tries to escape, and then Warren kills her and tries to blame it on Buffy, who goes to the police to turn herself in, but then realizes that it wasn't her. This is a really messy episode, but I think I'd probably put this at... Yeah, I don't like this episode, but not for like any of the other reasons, but like just for the subject matter, I didn't... The show so far has been like very... I just feel like the subject matter of the episode was like way too dark for what the season is, or what the series is. But I mean, this season is definitely darker than most, but I didn't like the subject matter, and I could do without it. I mean, it definitely solidified the dudes as bad guys, the trio. But yeah, no. I'm gonna put that one in The Earth is Doomed. The next one is older and more far away. This episode is Buffy's birthday, and Dawn makes a wish that nobody can leave the house, basically, by accident, and they're all like attacked by a demon that was inside of a sword, and it was I didn't like this episode either, actually. The Earth is Doomed. Okay, there we go. Next episode is As You Were. This is the episode where Riley comes back and he's married. And when you think about how long he was gone for like a year and a bit. So like a year. Yeah, a year and a bit. He didn't contact Buffy when her mum died. And he rocks up and he's just married. And I don't love what they do with Spike this episode, even though it makes sense, but I don't like it. And they break them up properly in this episode. I love Willow's line at the end where like she's like, "What a bitch." Like true bestie. True bestie material. And yeah, I didn't like this one either. It's because Riley showed up, I bet you. The next episode is Hell's Bells. This is the wedding of Anya and Xander, and Xander is shown possible futures that he has, or the possible future that he has with Anya, where he kills her, but really it's a fake vision, and then he ends up leaving Anya at the altar anyways. And Anya's dress like is so weird, but she pulls it off so well. She looks so gorgeous. Like she's never looked more beautiful. And it is disgusting that he leaves her at the altar. Xander fucking sucks. He does. And fact is, Anya deserved better. I didn't like this episode because of what they did to Anya. The next episode is normal again. This is the episode where Buffy is pricked and starts hallucinating, thinking that everything that's happened in the last 6 seasons is actually just in her head, and that she's in a psych ward. I feel so uncomfortable with episodes like this. This is probably the one that has made me feel the most uncomfortable, so I'm gonna put this in the Earth is Doomed because I don't like it. The next episode is Entropy. This is the episode where I think Anya comes back and she's a vengeance demon. She's trying to get someone to make a wish about Xander. Nobody will. And then she ends up sleeping with Spike just because she's drunk and sad. And it gets caught on camera, and Xander goes to try and kill Spike, and Spike's like, it was good enough for Buffy, and Xander flips out because he has to know everything about Buffy's sex life. The episode ends on a high note because Willow and Tara get back together, and that's all I got for you. I didn't love this one either. I'm gonna put it in The Earth is Doomed. I don't like these episodes. I'm finding out a lot about season 6. Apparently I didn't like a lot of the episodes. Like, they're good, they're decent episodes. I mean, it's a decent episode. Don't get me wrong, I guess. Technically it shouldn't be there, but I don't like the way it made me feel, so I'm putting it in The Earth is Doomed for that reason. The next episode is Seeing Red. And seeing Dawn be so excited about Willow and Tara being back together was adorable. Willow and Tara being just super cute all episode. I love it. And then there's the scene in the bathroom, which I still to this day don't agree with. No. Nuh-uh. And then there's the end of the episode. Your Shirt, which kicks off the end of the season. I don't like it because of what it did. It is what it is. You know, I don't like it. I don't like how it made me feel. Next episode is Villains. Willow tries to resurrect Tara. She fails, so she goes to acquire all the dark magics, and she goes to the hospital because Buffy was also shot by Warren. I didn't even say that, but you know. I'm not recapping these episodes for you, by the way. I'm just recapping them for myself to work out whether or not I like it. You know what happened. If you don't, why are you watching this video? Anyways, yeah, so she saves Buffy, takes the bullet, tries to go after Warren, can't find him, until the end of the episode. I think this is the episode where she finds him at the end. Yeah, and then she like flays him alive, takes all his skin off. It is the grossest thing I've ever seen in my life. And then she goes, 1 down, meaning 2 to go, which is the next episode. But this is a freaking good episode. Oh, good. Next episode is 2 to go. So Willow is trying to go after Jonathan and Andrew. And Anya reveals that she's a vengeance demon, and she helps the Scoobies with her knowledge. The episode ends with like Buffy and Willow beating each other up, and it's so cool. And then Willow's like, there's no one in the world that has the power to stop me now. And then she gets blasted across the room, and Giles is there, and he's like, I'd like to test that theory. And it was so epic. It was a really epic moment. So I'm gonna put that in cookie dough as well. It's a cookie dough episode. Then we have the season 6 finale, where Willow takes the power that Giles borrowed, and Giles is dying. Willow wants to end the world. Buffy's stuck in a chasm thing fighting these... what are they? Zombies? I don't know. What were they? I don't know. But Dawn's down there with her, and she's like, they're fighting together. And Xander saves the day with a speech, and it was a sweet moment. It was, I would argue, the only good moment that Xander has ever had in the series. Maybe he's had more moments, but not that I can recall at this moment. This is a good finale. I like that, like, even though I don't like Xander as a character, I like the fact that it wasn't just main character Buffy saves the day again, you know? I like that it was different, and in the end, even Buffy wants to live and wants to show Dawn her world. And I think that's great. So for that, that's cookie dough. Alright, so that is seasons 1 through 6 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I can't believe how long this has taken. I don't know how the edit is going to turn out, but at this point I've been recording for 3 hours. Alright, on to the final season. So season 7, episode 1 is called Lessons. This is the episode where the school has been rebuilt, and they are... Dawn's been enrolled there. Buffy's showing Dawn how to fight, and oh right, Spike got a soul. I forgot about that. That was a whole arc going on in the last 3 episodes of season 6. Yeah, Spike's living in the basement of the school. It's being haunted by the first, and there's a really cool moment at the end of the episode where it goes through all the big bads. But yeah, it's a pretty decent episode. You know, I'd probably just put it in 5/5 though. It's definitely like not as good as some of the other premieres, I think. Probably, I don't know, probably here. Just want to make sure that the freshman is, yep, freshman is pretty up. Cool. Next is Beneath You. This is the episode where Xander takes a liking to a girl who, her dog gets eaten by a monster who I think is her ex-boyfriend, and that was a wish that she made. And to be honest, this is a boring episode. It only has one good scene, and it is the scene that that Spike like informs Buffy that he has a soul, and it was a really emotional moment. But otherwise, it is a boring episode. Next episode is Same Time, Same Place. This is the episode where Willow comes back to town, but nobody can see her. And at the same time, there's this, like, this demon that is flaying people alive, kind of, and just eating their skin. And it's really, really gross. I don't like it. And I would like to erase this one from my memory. So that's going in the Earth is Doomed. The next episode is Help. This is the episode where Buffy is a counselor, and she meets a girl that just knows she's going to die. And she tries everything to stop this girl from dying, and she ends up dying anyways. And it was really sad, especially since she went through everything that she possibly could to save her. And she succeeded, but she just ended up dying because, I think, of a heart defect or something. It was sad. I'd probably put it somewhere in here. I'll just put it there. Next episode is Selfless. This is the episode where Anya had made a wish come true and she regretted it. A bunch of people were massacred and Buffy decides that she needs to slay her because it's too much damage. And Xander's like, oh, but it's okay when it's your boyfriend that does all the damage. And I hate Xander. Just shut up, Xander. It's not even the same thing. It's literally not. So Anya ends up deciding that she doesn't want to be a vengeance demon anymore. And I thought that was a great moment for her, because all she wanted for the longest time was to become a vengeance demon again, and she finally did. And then she decided it just wasn't for her. She had too much humanity now. And yeah, I liked that a lot. So I'm gonna put that maybe at the bottom of 5x5. The next episode is Him. This is another like love spell episode, but this is not done nearly as well as the Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered episode. This one just came across as worse to me because it wasn't just like a bunch of teenagers like fawning over a dude. It was a bunch of adults fawning over a teenager. And in fact, Buffy, who is 21, maybe 22 at this point, actually straddles a teenage boy, which I wasn't a huge fan of. No, there were some really funny moments in it though, like the fact that Buffy tried to take out the principal and then got tackled. I think that this episode kind of confirmed that Willow was bisexual because she was attracted to him. But yeah, TV shows don't know how to say that word. So yeah, I think that this is, what can I say? I've always been bad. Probably somewhere in there. The next episode is Conversations with Dead People. This is a weird, creepy episode. Willow was... They're all like haunted by people in this episode, and we find out that Spike's been turning people into vampires somehow, and the Summer's house gets trashed. Yeah, no, I didn't like this one. Is the Earth is Doomed, please? The next episode is Sleeper. This is the episode where Buffy decides that she needs to like follow Spike, work out what's going on, and she like discovers that he's been going out every night, and he's been... Yeah, I don't really remember much else about it, to be honest. This is a bit of a boring episode, apparently. Okay. I know that it ends with like him being like, help me, and she's like, okay. The next episode is Never Leave Me. Andrew makes a return, and Spike is tied up upstairs, I think. Then the Bringers attack and they kidnap Spike. I don't remember much else from that, to be honest. So I'm gonna go with bored now. But this is where the season like starts to kick off. Actually, I don't know if that's correct about that episode. Let me just check. Okay, no, so Never Leave Me is the episode where like Buffy is like, I've seen the good in you. And that was a nice moment. He does get kidnapped by the Bringers. The next episode, Bring on the Night, is the episode where Giles returns and he brings the potentials. And then there is the Turrican vampire that is released, and he beats the crap out of Buffy, who, by the way, was very tired. So there's that. Although this is a pretty good episode. Let's go with 5x5. Maybe here. The next episode is Showtime. This is the episode where the Scoobies make a plan to show the potentials that the Turrican vampire can be beaten. And Buffy puts on a show, beats the crap out of it, stakes that dude, well, doesn't really, decapitates him, and then rescues Spike, and it's a very emotional, sweet moment, and I think this is a cookie dough episode. The next episode is Potential. This is the episode where they think that Dawn is a potential, and it's actually another student at school, and she's still, like, you know, she still has a cool moment regardless, and it was an okay episode. I think that Xander's speech to her at the end was very sweet, but otherwise, that's it. I'd probably put this at pretty low on 5x5. The next episode is The Killer in Me. This is the episode where Willow and Kennedy have their first kiss, and Willow turns into Warren, and it's revealed that it's actually Amy, and a whole bunch of stuff happening, and basically I didn't really like it, to be honest. It was a cathartic moment, I guess, for Willow, but I didn't really like the episode. I don't really like Kennedy. I don't think anyone likes Kennedy. She doesn't really match Willow, you know. The next episode is First Date. So this episode, we find out that the principal is actually the son of a previous Slayer. I thought that was really cool. And Xander is nearly fully bled for a new Turrican to come out. This was an okay episode. There's the definition of an okay episode, so I guess I would probably put it in here. The next episode is Get It Done. Buffy learns more about the original Slayer. She goes into a dimension where they created her, and on the other end, the Scoobies are attacked by some kind of demon thing. This is a boring episode, to be honest. It was kind of like, there was one cool moment, and that was Spike, you know, buckling up. But other than that, the next episode is Storyteller, and I understand the concept of the episode. I didn't like it, though. I think it's kind of boring, to be honest. They try to give Andrew more substance, and I could appreciate that, but even by the end of the episode, I didn't care for him. So, there you go. I also don't like the fact that, like, they needed to, like, so the school was getting increasingly more chaotic and more hellmouthy because of him for some reason. But the way they closed it was for him crying on it. I don't know, that just seemed too fairy tale for me. I'm not opposed to fairy tales, but, like, this show has not really been like that previously. So it was weird that his tears closed the portal thing. The seal. The next episode is Lies My Parents Told Me. This is the episode where, you know, we learn about where the trigger came from, and Spike's mum, and also we learn about, you know, Principal Wood's Slayer mother. I don't like the way that he went about everything. It makes sense, okay, I get it, but don't have my Spike, okay? He's not the same person anymore. And, like, I don't like that Giles went along with it as well, especially since we're, like, in an apocalyptic era right now where we need all the strongest fighters we can get, and you're, like, gonna sacrifice one Giles. Are you okay? So I think it was a fine episode, but I didn't like it. I hated the song. I hated the song so much. Not for me. Next episode is Dirty Girls. Faith comes back and she's redeemed. And we have Nathan Fillion show up as well as a reverend dude, and he's so good at being evil. Oh my god. and Xander loses an eye, and a bunch of the potentials die. It's a good episode. I like this episode. The next episode is Empty Places. This is the episode where Buffy gets fired because Wood is a crybaby. And Faith takes the potentials out for a cool... So, I have issues with this actually. So, everyone has issues with this episode. So like, all the girls need like a relaxed time, and so Faith takes them to the Bronze, right? And then like, Giles is like, yeah, whatever, they needed it, whatever. But like, what, 2 episodes ago he was talking about how Buffy needs to be a commander and needs to make sure that people aren't slacking on the job or whatever. Like, he had a go at them for being like, this is real, these images are real, you're gonna die. Like, bruh, I do not like what they did with Giles this season. And then we have, you know, everyone ganging up against Buffy at the end of the episode and kicking her out of her own house. And how about you just get out of her house? This is the worst. I hate that. Everyone hates that. The Earth is doomed. You kick Buffy out of her house. The Earth is doomed. Okay. Next is Touched. This is the episode where Spike picks Buffy up, and it is the sweetest moment of the entire series. And then she also finds the scythe. There's also a bomb that goes off, and I don't really know what else happens. Spike and Andrew are going to come back from a monastery thing. I don't know. It's a 5x5 episode. We'll go here. The second last episode of the series is End of Days. This episode sees Buffy rescue everyone after the bomb, and she gets put back in charge, and she discovers what the scythe is for, and Angel shows up to try and help her at the end. Because she's fighting Caleb. And it's a pretty good episode. I liked it. It's a good penultimate episode. I just wish that everyone apologized to her because they treated her so poorly. I'm Team Buffy. Don't attack her. And last, we have the series finale titled Chosen. So this episode, Buffy makes a choice that everyone, all the potentials, should be a Slayer. And that she's going into the Hellmouth and she's beating it once and for all. And so Willow does a spell which turns all of the potentials into Slayers, and it's a really epic fight, and it just makes you question why they didn't do that and then go in to attack. Like, why did they do it all at the same time? I don't know. But it's an epic fight. I had goosebumps. Spike sacrifices himself. The whole town sacrifices itself. And to be honest, I really love this episode. I think it's actually one of the best episodes of the series. I actually can't believe that I've just done that, but that's how I feel. I think it's a really good episode. It's a really good ending, and I'm really curious as to how they're going to pick it up with the revival/reboot. But yeah, this is my rankings for Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the series. You know, if I was a bit more pedantic about it, I'd probably go through and individually put them in like proper order. I tried doing it a little bit, but got a little bit complicated at the end. So yeah, this is how I feel about the series. It is a great show, and I'm so happy to have watched it. And if you disagree with some of my picks here, let me know, because I'd love to hear it in the comments. I mean, I will probably link this in the description so you guys can make your own tier list if you want. And yeah, what is your all-time favorite episode of the series, and what is the worst episode of the series for you? Please let me know, because now you know mine. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought, and I'll see you in the next one.